Gamers, quickly, want to mention 50% off right now. 50% off on the main gameleap website down below. It is only $1.99 per month in the description down below. I'm doing a ton of 7.23 content for you guys, and it's been a lot of fun really trying to figure out the patch myself and bring every single piece of value I can over there that is not on YouTube, and that is a lot of stuff. Really trying to do a lot for you. I even got people like Yamson and Frempo, other creators who are doing a lot as well. So really, it's just a huge combination of different pieces of content that really will blow your mind. What's up guys, Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at Void Spirit, and I'm going to be showing you a couple of different tips and tricks to actually dominate on this hero, and as well as going over a brief replay. I'm not going to go too in depth, I'm really just going to give a baseline of what I think you should be doing and what the pros have been doing lately, so let's get into it. So the first thing I want to show you guys is a little bit of a combo I came up with. There's probably other people doing it at this point. Frankly, it's just something that came into my mind as I've been looking at different skill builds that people are doing, and basically what you do is you buy a Veil, you buy a Yules, and then you can Yules combo people. The combo is that you Veil them, you Yules them, you throw down your Aether Remnant, you Dissimulate, and then you Resonant Pulse, auto attack, Astral Step, auto attack, Astral Step, auto attack. So essentially it's just like casting all your spells in combination with your Yules combo. So I'm going to show it to you here. You put down the Remnant, you hit him with that, auto attack, use it again, auto attack, and it does a ton of damage. Now, of course, I'm level 20 with the Veil and the Spell Lamp talent, as well as the other 15 talent, but all I'm saying is, like, this amount of damage, it's very low cooldown as well. All you need is the Yules cooldown, which is 23 seconds. Technically, you don't even need the Yules. Like, if you just manage to hit the combo without the Yules, obviously the Yules doesn't actually technically provide any larger amount of damage in the actual combo. So yeah, give it a try, and I recommend this build very heavily. Now let's get into the video. So we will be looking at a 23 Savage replay. He is a very dominant carry player currently, top ranked player, I believe he's top 5 right now, and quickly, let's mention the starting item builds. So for starting items, he goes 2 sets of tangos, right? 6 in total. A mango, 3 branches, and a quelling blade. And this spends all your starting gold. I think he also has a clarity in his backpack, which I don't think is necessary. But overall, really standard item build. No stout shield anymore, so this is pretty solid. Now let's talk about how he actually approaches this lane and looks at Void Spirit in general. I think the main thing that he does is really play well around his Resonant Pulse. This gives you a shield, right? It does damage, and it gives you a shield for 10 seconds. That is 50 flat and 30 more for each opponent that you hit, obviously scaling up. And this is what he will consistently do throughout the laning stage, right? Every time he wants to commit to a trade even slightly, he will use this, right? So Tiny wants to trade with him there, just quickly pops it. It's effectively like an 130 damage nuke. I'm sorry, it's even more than that. It's like an 160 damage nuke, considering it also protects you from right clicks. So really, really, really potent. And overall, just a super solid ability that I highly recommend you take at level 1. Pretty low cooldown. It's only 14 seconds, only 90 mana, and very good for trading. And really, like, this is kind of it. You're going to notice he instantly pops it on the creep wave there, as well as hitting the Tiny with it, in addition to trading. And even though the Tiny hit him, he only took 40 damage, and the Tiny took around 100, maybe a little bit less, more like 80 or 90. In addition, he was able to push the creep wave in, which is going to give him a creep advantage, right, just because he has less creeps than the Tiny at some point, which enables him to play slightly more aggressive and actually go for this range creep here, which he ends up securing. So overall, super nice trading, and that's the benefit of the C. You notice he uses it once again here, and that's exactly why he has a clarity and an extra mango, so he can sustain this. In addition, what you should note is that you can use this E as well to try to secure creeps. He goes for the range creep here, does fall a little bit short, but it's just such a versatile spell in that regard, where you notice he went for it, didn't work out, but that's really just a value in having a spell like this. Great for trading, great for securing creeps. Overall, just I think it's the best level 1 spell on Void Spirit by quite a large margin. Next up after that, he goes for a Magic Wand Rush, and I think this is pretty important because your hero actually requires an insane amount of mana to actually play the laning stage and just cast his spells in general. So if you don't have a Magic Wand and a thing like a bottle, which you'll be buying a little bit later on, it's very hard to actually secure creeps. In addition, the only time you actually want to cast your W in the laning stage is when you really feel under threat or you're guaranteed to actually secure a kill. Don't use it just to casually harass. It's a lot of mana, and you're much better off using your Resonant Pulse to do so. So just kind of chill. The only reason he uses it here was he got tossed into a creep wave against potential Cold Snap and decided that he wanted to disengage, so it's, you know, pretty valuable. So there's nothing really too much to talk about this hero. You're going to notice he's completely skipping his Q, which in my opinion I think is correct. You want to just be spamming your other spells, or especially your E, so having mana to use for the Q, which is actually quite a lot at level 1, it's 85. You know, it's not insane, it's actually the least out of all of them. However, you just don't want to have another spell to use, so you're going to max out your W and your E in my opinion. I think this is just the best build to current date. We'll see in the future though. Right now though, really, really reliable. In addition, when you hit your level 6, you want to start looking to become aggressive. Your hero has a massive level 6 spike. you just do an insane amount of damage that's very reliable, right? So you're going to notice he's going on the Tiny here, leads with the Z, goes for the W, and doesn't actually end up committing here, I don't believe, but really just the insane amount of damage you deal is absolutely nuts. At any point in time, he could commit his ulti to actually go on the Tiny here. He was looking to go in, however, he spots a silencer gank, and this is one of the main benefits of playing Void Spirit and why you should be asking your supports to give you solo XP so that you can hit level 6 as soon as possible. You notice the Pango is only level 4. In addition, he has 38 CS, which is super high, 9 denies, and has been getting a lot of CS. But right, he gets gone on by the silencer here, but simply uses his ultimate to get out. Just really, really mobile hero. This is one of the main benefits of Void Spirit. You can play very aggressive, very similar to Ever Spirit. In fact, they actually have very similar playstyles. Next up here, I want to show you how he actually manages to solo kill this Tiny from half HP. And it's really just super basic. He actually uses his ultimate to secure a lot of creeps, which actually slows down the Tiny by 40%. He gets a couple of auto attacks in. It's very important to auto attack in between your uses of Astral Step because it actually slows, so you do not have to instantly cast both of them. That is a very improper use of the spell if you're trying to maximize damage. He actually then manages to get out of the avalanche by using the next Astral Step, continues to auto attack during the movement speed slow, and finally, even though he gets cold snapped, is able to pick up the kill simply because of his maxed out E. So next up, this hero's solo kill potential is just bonkers if you really manage to hit all your spells, and we're going to see that here. He did take a value point in his Q at level 9, so just keep that in mind. It is good to take a value point. It allows you to actually prevent people from TPing out and gives you a bit more solo kill potential, but overall, don't take this until you actually have the mana and the items to use it. He also got an Arcane Ring, as well as has Treads, a Bassi, a Wand, and a Bottle. So all these early game stat items, crucial on Void Spirit. Your hero is looking to play on the edge, right? You're playing for very close kills, very close scenarios, so please, buy these stat items, buy the early game items, otherwise you can't make plays like the one we will see here. He goes on the silencer, sends out his little like pole thingy, which I can't explain, then goes for the E, using the pole duration as well as the E. He manages to hit the silencer with his W, and then of course is just going to sling across, in addition while auto attacking in between, right? Very important, as I talked about, auto attack in between the ultimate usage, and then hit and run and gets the kill. And why does he live there? Strength Treads, Wand, very tanky item build. In addition, Bassi now, guys, which I almost forgot, actually builds into Veil. So Bassi, crucial item on this hero, gives you mana sustain, 3 attributes, and builds into Veil, which you really, really want. It's 9 all attributes. So yeah, just to talk about this hero, you're very good at brawling early on. He got off to a super good start as level 10 at minute 11, manages to take the 30 damage talent, and then basically all you're going to be looking to do is cast your E to initiate the fight, right? You can even dodge spells, right? He dodged a tornado with his W there, so it's just super good to use in the middle of the fight to dodge spells. And then just continuing on, you're really just looking to stay and kite around the edge of the fight and clean up low HP heroes. Really, that's the main benefit of you. Now, what you're going to notice here is he actually sort of kiting out what you want to do on Void Spirit to dominate the fights, and this is the most important thing you need to listen to in this video. You need to kite out and play around cooldowns. All of your cooldowns are approximately 11 seconds. Right now, this is only level 1, so it's 17, but it goes down to 11. Dissimulate goes all the way down to 11 as well, and so does Resonant Pulse, which it just stays at 14, right? But it's basically the same thing, and then Astral Step is essentially a 12-second cooldown. I mean, obviously both charges are a 25-second cooldown. I'm just saying if you were to use them separately and couldn't use them at the same time, it would be a 12-second cooldown. So as you can see, the hero can play around this 11 to 12 second cooldown very reliably, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's sort of staying on the outside, kind of running at Tiny only because he can, because he's that far ahead, but for the most part, you're really looking to play around these cooldowns. When you commit your spells, you want to kite out, kind of move in and out, use your ultimate to get around the edges of the fight, go for the squishies, and then kind of wait for the cooldowns. This is the best way to play this hero that will prevent you from dying and make sure you get a lot of value out of his spells. And look, that's exactly what he's going to do here. I just want to make it clear, guys, even though this Tiny is relatively low, he doesn't commit to the kill strictly based on the fact that the Tiny hits the shrine. Tiny could have backup incoming as he's fighting on the shrine, and so what does he do? Just waits for his cooldowns. Gotta play like this, and I'm just really trying to point it out because it's kind of everything. It's sort of how you need to play heroes like Ember Spirit as well if you are interested in playing them, but really, that's exactly what he's going to do here. Kiting out, cooldowns come up, what do you know? Goes back in. It's really that simple, and that's kind of what you need to know as Mac on the silencer calls go end. But as you can see, based on his item build, his skill build, and his really good mechanics, he's able to dominate his laning stage and actually, you know, just carry the game as Void Spirit. And I think if you play like this, Void Spirit is pretty powerful. The hero can feel a bit underwhelming if you don't go proper item build and skill build like this, in my opinion, as like you really have to know what you're doing and really listen to what I'm saying about casting the spells. Learn to hit them, spam the hero, and kite in and out, and you will have a lot of success on Void Spirit. And yeah, let's just talk about a couple more things before I end up the video, because this is pretty short. This game only lasts around 20 minutes, but I thought it was a good example because the skill build and item build that he went, I think enabled him to actually end the game and tilt the enemy team super hard. But the items that he's going to go for next is a Kaya. As you can see, he has the Yules queued up as well, which enables the combo if he was planning on doing it. But also the Yules is a counter to a hero like Invoker for the Cold Snap. It's a counter to Avalanche. Most importantly, it's a counter to Silencer and his Global Silence. Technically open wounds as well if you really care about it. Void Spirit wants to kite in and out of the fights, so similar to Ember Spirit, buying a Yules is a very valuable item. In addition, similar to Leshrac, it lets you set up all your damage. So I would consider if they have any sort of threat or you're not comfortable in your positioning yet, like to the highest extent, do not, and I mean do not go for Kaya, go for a Yules. It is much more reliable and gives you a lot more options. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I just kind of want to say that if you've been playing this hero and struggling, I'd really look at what I've been saying. And then the last thing I would say is really try to push in only lane creeps and do not jungle on Void Spirit. Your hero is not meant to jungle. You notice what he does in this situation here is that he sort of just pushes out one lane. And so I'm going to go back 10 more seconds. Pushes out one lane, sees a fight breaks out, and kind of runs over. If you like brawling and you like fighting, go for Void Spirit. I think this hero is super good at that. And really, other than that, like, this is kind of just how you're trying to play. Push in lanes, set up for good fights, and look for advantageous, you know, positioning within fights. And you should do a lot of damage and have a lot of success. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more gameplay like this one, or more 7.23 content, go check out the main gameleap website. As I said, a lot of content over there, a lot of 7.23 content. And I also heard, guys, over on the main gameleap website, we have a 50% off sale going on right now. So it is only $1.99 per month. That's it. That's it. It's so cheap. And I'm doing a ton of 7.23 content over there. So if you feel like YouTube isn't doing it for you, or you need things more niche and specific that can help you in your very own role, I recommend you go check it out, right? It's 50% off. Literally, it's a Black Friday sale. It's not going to get much better than this. Actually, you probably never will. So click the link right now, and hopefully I'll see you there.